Well, all right, boys and girls, here we go. Over here at my combination hive, I came in here Friday and combined these two hives. The one was a queenless swarm that had went laying worker, and this one was a queen-right swarm that was very small. So I went and combined them, doing a paper combination. Now, I usually give them a few more days than 2 or 3, but here we are, and Oklahoma being Oklahoma this time of year, we have got another 3 days worth of rain coming. So it kind of is what it is, a little victory to the bold. Got a lot of activity going on. Give the girls a little smoke, let them know I'm coming. Grab my hive tool that I always forget in here, and then I always forget where I leave it. But we're going to get this open. What I'm probably going to do is when I separate these boxes, I'm probably going to reorganize them in what would be a normal doggone beehive kind of way. I'm not going to put a feeder on here. I should, but I forgot my feeder. Now, there aren't very many bees in this top box, so they may have already worked their way through the newspaper, which I hope they did. Now, as far as reorganizing, I've got one frame of drawn comb in this top box, and there really ain't many bees up here. We're going to set it over here on the tailgate of the bee buggy for a minute. They've eaten through real good right here. Like I said, I'd like to have given them a couple more days, but man, it is what it is. So, get that out of the way. Save that for smoker fuel. And let's take a peek while we're in here. Hopefully we see the queen and she's still banging along all right. Life in the fast lane. What can you say? I wish I had more comb. I've got 3 pieces, or 3 deep frames of comb left that I am hanging on to. But I probably ought to come over and throw some in there for her. What do we got there? We got brood on this frame. Larva, pollen. There's an egg down there. Yeah, there's a couple eggs. So she was laying no more than, or at least 3 days ago she was laying. So let's just work our way across and see what we got. I'll tell you, I'm surprised at the bees that I don't see. Between the 2 of these, there should have been 9 full frames of bees. Good looking brood frame, laid up really nice. Got some fresh comb going. It's all kind of wonky. Don't see a queen. There's another nice brood frame. Looking, queenie. Don't see. Can't remember which way this came out. I think it came out like this. Yeah, it did, because the way the comb is on the frame beside it, I can tell that was the way one side's drawn out and one side isn't. Quick, down and dirty. Let's find the queen. Man, they are doing a good job drawing this frame. I think this one I dumped in the middle of them. Nothing on that side yet. Oh, eggs. Bunch of eggs. Where you at, Ma? I don't see Ma, but every bit of this. They need to draw it some more in the middle, but that's all laid up, and that is all eggs. When you're trying to find a queen, you need to be looking specifically for the queen. Don't pay attention to anything else. And my problem is that I get easily distracted. I will tell myself I'm going to look for the queen, and then I get to looking for eggs and things, and I get easily distracted. Another good frame of brood. Mostly capped. No queen over there. Mostly capped. No queen over here. The only good thing about a smaller colony is that you're not looking for one bee out of 60,000. Right here I'm probably only looking for one bee out of 30,000. Where are you at, girl? Where are you at? Boy, this frame is laid up good. They're going to explode into that top frame, or into that top box. Speaking of which, let's go to that top box, because any one of these two frames will be a good one to add to it. And I think this top box has just got one little deal of resource. So I'm out of the shot here for a second, but I'm just next door making room for a frame. Alright, we're going to check this one frame out real quick here. See if Mama Bear has come up to it for some reason. Because if I do see eggs in the top box anywhere, then I know Mama's been here. Yes, this is all resources, which is the only thing the other hive was capable of, because they didn't have a queen. And then they went laying worker and had some doodad comb there. But that's resources. We're going to move that away from the center. I'm going to put it down here. Slide that way. Give it one more blank frame there. And I'm going to put that frame of brood right here in the middle. And I'll probably try to show that to you here in a second when I set that other box on. This right here, I'm just going to double check it again, see about queen. But I've got everything from cap brood to open brood. All the way down to eggs on this frame. Isn't it funny how I can't hardly, I get to thinking about looking for a queen, I quit talking. But yeah, there's eggs all the way out to there. Cap brood in the middle. This would be a good frame to put in there. Actually, I think I have just completely changed my mind. There are so many undrawn frames in this hive that I am going to put them back down into one box. Give that a quick shake. I've only got one frame up here that is really worth anything, and I'm going to set it just inside this deal here. I'll move that frame over. And we're going to drop this resource frame. No queen anywhere. Pollen on this side. Yeah, I got more pollen here. We'll put it toward the center. And then get my brood right in the middle. And I am going to have to get a feeder back on this thing. Move that one back over. They've got this side drawn out good. This is the side that was drawn out and laid up. So we're going to get it back in the pack. And did this one have brood on it? I'm pretty sure it did. Let me double check. It does. Got a lot of brood. So we're going to slide it over. And this one here's got brood all on it. So yeah, this hive doesn't have a whole lot of resources. So they're going to need fed, even though the flow is on. I still want to go ahead and feed these girls up in the hopes of getting a bunch of comb drawn. They really like it when I drop them like that too. Sometimes they stick to your fingers and then kind of it is what it is. Try to be all gentle with them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I need 2 more. I think I've got a couple over here that, yeah, this frame's had some work done on it. We'll drop it in there. Try to give them the 10 best frames. And here we go here. They're starting to draw this side out. Decisions on the fly, changed my mind. But there's not enough bees here still, I don't think, for 2 boxes. So they've got the best that I can give them, best frames I can give them. That frame's completely empty. Just want to make sure I don't have any bees left in this box, which it doesn't look like there's many. And they'll eventually pull out of here when I get ready to leave. So, not how this video is going to go, but here we are. Always remember, the bees have a say. You can't make a honeybee hive do anything. You can only kind of try to drive the bus. So we'll let them sit there. And I got a couple frames over here. 1 left, that makes sense. So both these boxes are full. And we're about to call this a deal. I sure would like to find a queen though. But we'll look for her later. I mean, I ought to go ahead and find her. But it's only been a couple days. Let the old girl alone. I'll come back and check for a queen later on. Let's see. Actually, I don't even need this yet. I'm gonna let it sit here till I come back with a feeder. And if I get a chance, if it doesn't rain for 3 days straight, I'll get back over here as soon as I can and I'll get the feeder back on these girls. Try to get them fed up, because I can tell you, with all that brood they got in there, they're going to blow up before too long. Now, it didn't look like any real aged brood. It all looked like it was fairly young capped brood. Hadn't been capped very long. So I don't know how long it'll be before all the extra bees show up, but when they do, we'll be ready. So that's my combination. Didn't see any fighting, didn't see any arguing. Seems like everybody's hugs, kisses, and getting along. So we're fixing to get out of here, unless you guys want to watch me feed these 2 hives. This is a pretty simple deal here. All I'm going to do is take the lid off, fill the feeder. I use the top feeders. They hold about 1 gallon. That way I don't even, I don't have to go in and disturb the hive. I don't even take the cover off. I lift off this migratory thing when I get my ratchet straps to cooperate. That comes off. This lid comes off and it is empty, which I kind of figured it was going to be. So let's put a little sugar syrup to it. I am feeding 1-to-1 syrup, and the whole idea behind that is just promoting building combs. Now, in the event that I would decide to throw a honey super on this, which I don't think is going to happen on these hives, I don't think they're going to be built up enough for any honey collection this year. But if I were to do that, then obviously the feed comes off. I think I've mentioned it before. You do not feed your bees at the same time you're gathering honey that you intend to harvest, because we don't do that whole adulterated honey. If we did adulterated honey, then we'd be just like them boys down there at the store. I don't want to say any names because I don't want to get thrown under the bus and get sued. But let's just say I'm not a fan of honey that's imported from Argentina, or anywhere else for that matter. So, and I don't know that I've ever had store-bought honey. I mean, I'm sure I have, but Grandpap took care of us when I was a kid as far as honey goes. And well, that was that. And then there's a local beekeeper that sells honey other than me, prior to me getting into the game. You know, we had some of their honey. So, we'll see. Exciting day at the apiary. Trying to get everything done before the Noah's Ark rain starts. It has rained so much in Oklahoma. Now this feeder is not completely empty. We're just going to top it off. I got to consult my notes. One of these hives is doing really well, and the other one is in the middle of a supersedure. Now these are the hives that I made splits from my existing hives over at the home apiary. These two were splits, and introduced a queen into both of them the day after I made the splits. Both queens were accepted, but one queen has got something wrong with her back left leg. She just kind of drags it along, and the rest of the bees know that ain't right, so they're in the process of superseding her. But that's going to wrap my video up. Quick little down and dirty just on that combination hive, and making decisions on the fly. My original plan was leave them in 2 deeps, bring that brood frame up like you saw, but there's just so much comb that needs to be drawn. I'm gonna let them sit in there and soak for a week or two, and my next inspection, which will be in a week to 10 days, I guess we'll figure out what's going on for sure. Make sure I've got eggs in there and or see the queen, and then make a decision on that second box. Anyway, I appreciate you guys showing up. Thanks for stopping by. Do me a favor and hit the like, the subscribe button, share this video, and throw me a comment down there. I love questions. The last video I did, somebody commented that they really loved the Q&A deal. So if you've got questions, throw them on this one, and I will answer those questions on the next video. Anyway, y'all have a great day, and good luck with your bees.